Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea Vern, and nothing says Industry Day like your computer crashing right before you're presenting. So, with that said, my MRP is focused on sport culture, where I explored my experience as a woman working in the sport industry. I recently graduated from Ryerson University, pursuing my degree in professional communication with a minor in sport marketing, and then I came back to do my master's for digital media. My career goals would be to work in communications, marketing, and content production within the sport and film entertainment industries. And I've spent the last 5 to 7 years working on my toolkit in graphic design, photography, video production, social media, all within professional sport. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about me and my experiences, you can visit my website at chelsfern.com. So I want to thank you all so much for popping on the stream to learn a little bit more about what I've been up to for the past 12 months. Anyone that knows me knows that my big career dream would be the perfect blend of sport and Disney. And I really do think that my presentation is a perfect representation of that. So the purpose of my MRP was to investigate the adversities women face in the sports industry through an autoethnographic style. I discuss 5 categories determining how sports are constructed by men for men, and then I reflect on my personal experiences and how they align with current academia. The remaining 4 categories I discussed include marginalization, representation of women in sport leadership, mediocrity, and self-limitation. My findings then led me to my animated short film, which I called Maiden Mascot. So an autoethnography method basically enables an author to be able to analyze a wider cultural, social, or political phenomena through their own experiences as someone as part of that community. So this was a really unique approach for me to examine my experience as a woman in sport and explore the wider cultural hardships of female sport professionals. To illustrate my research, I wrote a script based on the relationship between my literature review and my autoethnographic findings. I produced a short film as a recorded storyboard with an original script, characters, story panel artwork, and visual and sound post-production editing. So under the scope of my 5 categories, I assessed theories on the male gaze, gender stereotyping, rule congruity theory, tokenism, emotional labor, and risks of self-promotion. I discovered that these are some of the primary forces that maintain sport as a male-dominated industry. So here's what I learned. Sports as a male construct is the normalized understanding that masculinity is the center focus when we think about sport. So basically, it's the ideology that sports serves the needs and desires of men, and this occurs through the remaining categories I'm going to discuss now. I discovered that marginalization in sport is the belief that women can't possibly enjoy or know anything about sports because of our female characteristics. But also, if females were to start behaving more like men or portraying more masculine behaviors, then it's perceived as a lot worse as well. Men are automatically granted credibility of their knowledge and ability in sport, whereas women are not. Also, I found that it's normalized for men to also belittle and harass women by questioning them on their sports credibility and their credibility of being a sports fan to ultimately reinforce their dominance in sport. Key takeaways in sport leadership found that women are often portrayed as sexy, but perceived as incapable of taking on leadership roles. Powerful and assertive men are ideal and successful leaders. Quiet and conservative men are considered diversity oriented. And then confident women are often perceived as ugly inside and out. The lack of female representation in sport leadership roles is due to the preconceived notion that characteristics required for leadership positions are really only congruent with male stereotypes and not with female stereotypes. Then I explored mediocrity culture, which is basically where women do all the work and then men get all the credit. Mediocre quality and quantity of work is very natural it's a natural expectation for men, and that they're often also given a lot of praise for whatever work that they come up with. However, in contrast, women are expected to work twice as hard and produce extraordinary outcomes, and then they don't receive really any credit or praise, and sometimes they even have their male counterparts taking their credit. Finally, I learned that self-promotion limits identity expression. So unlike men, women are punished for demonstrating self-promotional behaviors because they're perceived as unattractive, unlikable, or unhireable. Unfortunately, we're also seeing women criticizing other women for self promotion due to tokenism. So, the old, there's only one spot at the table, so you guys have to fight it out for yourself. Additionally, women are forced to compromise their identity by conforming to stereotypical notions of femininity to avoid social rejection, but in turn forfeit their career ambitions and self worth. I went into this project knowing that I had experienced a lot of discrimination within the workplace and in sport communities, but whenever I was asked about it, I found it very difficult to come up with pinpoint those exact scenarios. So then it often left me thinking, well, am I just being oversensitive? And I struggled with the sport loves me not concept. And I have been an active member of the sport community for many years, but I've always found there to be this disconnect between my love for sport and its acceptance of me. So the purpose of this paper was then to discover the root of where all of that was coming from. And then my research proved that the consistent self-doubt of my knowledge and abilities is because there are just so many forces out there that are trying to keep sport as a male-dominated industry. And it also showed that I'm not the only woman who's experiencing this. This then led me to the creation of my media project. It's a marriage between my literature, research, and autobiography. I chose to build an alternate universe of mascots because, in my mind, it was a perfect representation and vision of bringing sport to an animated scene. I wanted to develop characters that viewers could also connect with as sports fans and also bring in the essence of sport community and sport culture. Mascots as characters and with the whole mascot world altogether is also a theme that no other mainstream media or animation has discovered before or has used before. So, of course, I had to take up on that opportunity. The story follows a passionate and driven female mascot named Ronnie Raccoon that has dreams of becoming the head mascot for her hometown's professional men's hockey team. The film focuses on the experiences of women pursuing a career in the sports industry and the discrimination hurdles that she faces during her journey to the big leagues. I want to thank you all so much for listening, and please enjoy this clip to conclude my presentation. Maiden Mascot will be streaming soon, so please follow me at Chelsea Vern on Instagram and on Twitter for premiere release dates and platform locations.
Excuse me, Mr. Sinbin? I want to work in the front office for pro hockey when I grow up. Could you tell us a little bit more about the process? Huh, yeah, sure, women's hockey. You couldn't even cut it in the men's league. We're tougher, killer confident, and smarter at hockey than girls. Yeah, you're smarter, eh? Yeah, that's what I said, dummy. Look, all I'm trying to say here is that you don't belong in the big leagues with the boys. Besides, we don't even want you there anyways. I'll show him, even if I have to stay up every night and study.